Thank you so much guys for turning to this brand new video. I'm just gonna share you an important Trump interview, and you actually won't believe what Trump just said in this interview. It's very important. I request you to watch the video till the end. First of all, let's start the video guys, and please consider subscribing if you're new to this channel. It actually helps me a lot when you click on the subscribe button. It means a lot to me. Here we go.
The reoccurring story now in even mainstream outlets is, okay, yes, Trump has always been unstable and unhinged, but there's something rapidly changing and getting a lot worse about his mental state. And you can really notice that when he tries to do extended interviews with anyone now. He's all over the place. He's scrambled in the mind. He says stuff that doesn't make any sense. And then obviously, substantively, will say very disturbing things. This is one of those segments where there's so many different clips I have to show you. I didn't know exactly what order to put them all in, but let's just jump right into it and watch through, because the whole thing is out of control. And the fact that this is the commander-in-chief, this is the guy steering the ship, is genuinely terrifying. Here's him trying to make a point about late Justice Ginsburg.
Oh, look what happens to Justice Ginsburg.
So, look at happens to Justin's Bieber, Ginsburg, gin and tonic, just random. Look at happens. Look at happens. What does this mean?
Look what happens to Justice Ginsburg. She was not exactly a young woman. The election was taken. They had a Democrat who could have appointed a liberal justice, and the liberals do stick together.
Why he always criticize Democrats? I don't know. He hates so much. Why he hates so much? It's a democracy. Everybody exists here. First he ate the media. He always criticizes the media, but he only loves the Fox News. Then he always criticizes the Democrats for everything, literally for everything. And what Trump is just doing nowadays, everybody is questioning the mental state of President Trump.
There's one thing about those justices. They stick together like glue, not like the Republicans. But she decided that she was going to live forever. And about 2 minutes after the election, she went out, and I got to appoint somebody. So, you know, you make the case that at a certain time...
What? Let me take that down. What even did he mean? Look at Justice Ginsburg. Now, that's not even what he said, but okay. What was the first sentence again?
Oh, look what happens to...
Look at happens. Justice Ginsburg, she was not exactly a young woman. The election was taken... What does that mean? They had a Democrat who could have appointed a liberal justice. About 2 minutes after the election, she went out. Like, for coffee? What do you mean she went out? Is that a euphemism for she passed away? I guess passed away is a euphemism for she died, but she didn't die after the election. 2 minutes after. She died in September of 2020 when Trump was president, before the election. So that's not even the correct timeline. And how could he forget that? Now, he then says, and I got to appoint someone. So somewhere in his brain, he realizes the series of events was that he got to appoint someone before Biden won the election and took over. And that was a very notable event. But the way he words it is as if he doesn't know when exactly Ginsburg passed away, even though this is like one of the most famous moments in history.
Just died? Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time. She led an amazing life. What else can you say? She was an amazing woman. Whether you agreed or not, she was an amazing woman who led an amazing life. I'm actually saddened to hear that. I am saddened to hear that.
So... he was at a campaign rally. You would be able to remember it couldn't have possibly been 2 minutes after the election if you were at a campaign rally in your own presidency and one of the most notable events of your last presidency. But again, he's all disoriented. And that is honestly an iconic moment. He's walking, blue jean baby. The song starts perfectly, and then they tell it to him, and then he just flexes both of his hands as much as possible because obviously he's nervous. Then again, on the timelines or the understanding of logic, you have this.
This guy is a bad chairman.
Quickest pause to request that you click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. It's completely free, and it's the simplest way to support the work that we do. Right below the video, click that subscribe.
Well, it's a short break from Luke Beasley. I just wanna ask from you, like, why Trump is so funny? You know, I'm from Asia. I'm interested in U.S. politics. I always see, and the people in Asia, they always see Trump is somehow joking in every speech. Yesterday, Caroline Leavitt and the press secretary of Trump, she always gets confronted by the reporters at presser, and she always say, you know, president have great sense of humor. That's why he breaks joke. And you also remember a post by President Trump, like he was considering himself a Jesus. He was literally considering himself like a Jesus. And then he said, and then press secretary Trump, she said, it was a joke from President Trump. So it's a president of the United States of America, the superpower country in the world. Everybody in Asia, they know US is a superpower country, and everybody is laughing now on President Trump. It's a strange. Let's see further show.
Button, and then also whatever you're thinking, or
please subscribe to my channel and Luke channel as well.
And click the like button. Back to the video.
It means a lot to me.
And I was surprised when Biden extended him, to be honest with you, but he did. Interest rates should be much.
So he's talking about the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, but you're surprised Biden extended him. You're the one who originally appointed him, and Trump never really contends with that. Sometimes he'll say, I don't know why Biden appointed him, but then he means extended his tenure, even though Trump was the original one. You can take that down to appoint him. So that's strange. He gets asked the most basic question in politics to a president. What is your domestic agenda? What is your domestic agenda? That's like the most boilerplate, easy to respond to question ever, because that should be what you're thinking about constantly. Let's see his attempt at an answer.
Sir, what are your top priorities now for the economy for the rest of the year?
To be honest, we are doing so well. You look at this. I hit the 50,000 Dow mark, which everyone said couldn't happen in 4 years. I did it in 1 year. I hit the 7,000 S&P mark in less than 1 year.
Do you agree to President Trump?
Which was a number, as you know, you reported it. They said if at the end of 4 years you hit those numbers, I did it at the end of a year. And I said, now we have to.
The Dow, I almost can swear my life on this, partially because we can't ever know, lol, would be higher if Biden had just stayed president or if Kamala had taken over. So then it's weird to take credit for something that has already backslid. He says the Dow hit 50,000, and it's not at that right now since the war pushed it down. It's a very strange, and his response essentially is, I don't have a domestic agenda. I did everything perfectly already. That's what he's saying. She said, what's your domestic agenda? And he's like, well, the Dow is already at 50,000, even though it's not.
Do a little bit of a turn, a detour to a place called Iran, and we have to stop them from ever having a nuclear weapon. And if you told me that in the midst of it, we would have a stock market that's almost as good as it was 2 months ago.
Let's just stop here for a moment. The leader, Khamenei, who actually died now, he said, he multiple times, he said, we are not going to, make a nuclear weapons. They already said, and now you can see the situation. I'm a neighbor of Iran, you can say like that. And I can literally tell you President Trump is very close to a deal with Iran, and Iran is going to get huge benefits from this unwanted war of President Trump. President Trump is coming to Islamabad, Pakistan. A few days back, J.D. Vance was here when the talks when the peace talks between Iran and USA, they were badly affected and failed. President Trump is coming to Islamabad, Pakistan. Remember my words. In upcoming 1 to 2 days, you will see.
Just about, very close. And
yeah, this is the other thing he kept doing throughout the interview. You can take that down, which is like taking credit for things not being as bad as he thought they would be if he started this war. So instead of comparing it to what it would have been without the war, he compares it to how bad it should have been. It reminds me of COVID, whenever he would say, we only have 15 cases, it's soon to be 0. Many people said we were going to have more. And then it all of a sudden is 100,000 cases. And then he's like, listen, people thought we'd have 1 million cases by now. We're doing fine. And then we got to well over 1 million cases, 2 million, and then ultimately over 1 million deaths. And he's like, see, people thought we were going to have 10 million deaths. So like 1 million is not even a big deal. It's that goalpost moving and you going, at least in that case, he didn't control the pandemic. He could have handled it better, but he didn't decide for it to start. In this case, he literally decided for the war to start. So then don't make us give you credit for you thinking that the decision you made was going to be more disastrous.
And the people and the political commentator on social media, they are saying President Trump will come in Pakistan to just take a credit of this deal. He just don't want to give this credit to J.D. Vance. That's why President himself will come.
When I made the decision, I thought it was going to be even worse than it is. And so, hey, high fives to me. And then he kind of gets tripped up on thinking about the many different things you can call Hormuz.
Do we still have the same relationship with Italy right now and Giorgia Meloni?
No. She's been negative. Anybody that turned us down for helping with this Iran situation, we do not have the same relationship. Just so you know, Italy gets a lot of oil from the Strait. You can call it the Strait of Hormuz or the Hormuz Strait. I said, which is better? They said, either is okay, but you can call it either one.
My question is, why is Hormuz so straight? Why can't it be bi-curious Hormuz? No one's ever asked this question. Why would you waste any moments, especially what was that, like 20 seconds, going, you know, some people call it the Strait of Hormuz, but you could also call it the Hormuz Strait. And I also hear people say the Straits of Hormuz or the Hormuz Straits. It's sort of like whatever you want to do. It's so, why are you even wasting time talking about that?
Anybody that turned us down for helping with this Iran situation, we do not have the same relationship.
Okay, why he was threatening the European countries with a tariff a few months back. He was threatening France that I will put 200% tariff on their wines. And what he did to the president of France, and what he did to the Denmark, what he did to the UK. UK is not with the USA. Denmark is not with the USA. France is not with the USA. What he is just doing, he is just making the allies of USA angry. That's what he all did to the friends of USA. You have seen, you are the witness of this thing. And now he's saying nobody was with us, nobody was helping us in this war. So why anybody will help you when you did bad to them in the past? What's your opinion? What do you want to say about this topic? And I'm a student of US politics and you're the teacher. You have to teach me the correct politics of USA. Please excuse my accent as well. I'm not a native speaker. I'm just trying to learn American accent as soon as possible. I'm literally a student of US politics. I'm making videos since 2 or 3 years now. Please consider subscribing. When you click on the red subscribe button, it means a lot to me. It really helps me a lot when you click on the subscribe button, and please press the bell icon as well. I'll bring more important videos for you. Till then, please take care of yourself and please take care of your health as well. It's very important. And please let me know in the comment section what you want to say about this Trump insane interview.